Imagine the silence of a frozen Germanic forest, where the only sound is the slow cracking of ice beneath your sandals. Your breath hangs in the air. The Legion has marched home, but you and two other scouts remain behind. Rome has left you here as shadows in the snow, and as the frostbite begins to creep into your feet, a terrifying thought settles in. The Empire didn't forget you. It chose to let you die. For a Roman soldier, the Rhine frontier was the edge of the known world. Beyond it stretched a land the Romans called Germania, a vast region of forests and rivers east of the Rhine that the Empire never fully conquered. To the disciplined legions, it felt like the border between civilization and chaos. Roman forts and marching camps formed thin lines of order along the frontier, but beyond those defenses lay endless woodland, cold, wet, and unfamiliar. Every time a Roman army marched into that wilderness, they depended on a small group of men to guide them, the scouts. Roman scouts were known as exploratores. They were the eyes and ears of the legion. Their job was brutally dangerous. They rode ahead of the army, sometimes miles ahead. Their mission was simple: detect ambushes, track enemy movements, and find safe routes through hostile territory. These men moved quickly and lightly, often just a handful of riders, because if the legion marched blindly into a trap, thousands of soldiers could die. But scouting carried a deadly risk. Sometimes the legion moved, and the scouts never returned in time. Imagine 3 Roman scouts emerging from the forest after days of reconnaissance. Their horses are exhausted. Ice clings to their cloaks. They expect to see the smoke of Roman campfires rising above the trees. But the clearing is empty. No tents, no standards, no soldiers. The legion has already moved. At first, they assume it's a mistake. They search for the road. They follow faint tracks in the mud. But snow begins to fall. Wind sweeps through the forest. The tracks disappear. The road vanishes. Soon the forest closes in again, and the silence returns. The legion is gone. Being stranded in Germania was more than simply getting lost. The forests were enormous and difficult to navigate. Roman roads ended at the frontier. Beyond that were only narrow tribal paths and animal trails. Food was scarce in winter. Water froze, and Roman soldiers were impossible to hide. Their metal helmets reflected light. Their armor clinked with every step. Their red cloaks stood out sharply against the snow. But the greatest danger was not the cold. It was the people who lived there. Germanic tribes knew these forests intimately. They moved silently through the trees. They knew every trail, every river crossing, every hidden path. To them, a lone Roman soldier was not just a traveler. He was an intruder, and sometimes a target. Roman scouts captured beyond the frontier could face harsh interrogation. The tribes wanted information. Where was the Roman army? How many soldiers were coming? When would they return? Some prisoners might be ransomed. Others were killed as warnings. And many simply disappeared into the wilderness. Rome understood the dangers of these forests better than most people realize. The Empire learned this lesson brutally in the year 9 AD during the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest. In that disaster, 3 Roman legions were ambushed and destroyed by Germanic forces. The loss shocked the Roman world. It proved that in the dense forests of Germania, even the most disciplined army on earth could become vulnerable. After that catastrophe, Roman commanders became far more cautious when operating beyond the Rhine. But even with that caution, the job of the scout remained deadly. They rode ahead into the unknown so the legion could march safely behind them. And if they failed to return, the army could not stop for them. Thousands of soldiers could not risk their safety for a handful of scouts. So somewhere beneath the soil of Germany, fragments of Roman equipment are still discovered. Lost helmets, broken spearheads, rusting pieces of armor, silent reminders of soldiers who ventured too far into the forest. Men who served as the eyes of the empire. But when the legion marched on, Rome simply left them behind. If you were a Roman commander, would you risk your entire army to rescue 3 scouts? Or were these men always meant to be expendable? Let me know what you think.